Okay, I hope you followed along on that last video. Now we're going to actually show you how to book an ad in for a customer in your booking calendar, and also how to create an ad creative for that customer and book it into the booking calendar as well. So first things first is we are going to want to book a slot. So you can use these bookings on the side here to actually book the slots, which works well. But typically you're going to be doing some longer term partnerships, and you're going to want to do bulk booking. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into bulk booking, and then you want to select a sponsor. So again, we created the sponsor earlier. You're going to have to make the sponsor before you actually do the bulk booking. So we're going to click Acme Corp because that's who booked this ad with us. Then we're going to click the ad type that they've booked. So let's pretend that Acme Corp booked the presenting sponsor every Monday, slot number 1 from, let's go from now till the end of March. And I'm just going to put it on April 1st. So you can see down here that this will create bookings for 15 available Monday slots between December 17th and 2025 and March 31st, 2026. So this is a really easy way for you to tell how many ads you actually booked without like having to look at the calendar before you save it. So I want to actually make sure that they only have 14 ads. So they paid for 14 ads. Good. We've got 14 ads booked in. You can also do custom dates if you'd like to. So it'll show you the calendar, and you can book in a random array of dates if you have someone who booked in, I don't know, just off the hook, like some random days, like 4 or 5 mixed in through the next month. But we're going to stick to our weekly pattern here. So we've got 14 bookings, and now we're going to hit create bookings. So what that's doing is it's going in the background, in the back end, and it's created all the bookings. So you can see that these turned yellow. Yellow on our legend over here is partially booked, which is good because we only have the presenting sponsor booked for that specific date because these are still available. If all of those were booked, which is great because you're monetized completely for that publication send date, then it would turn red. Okay, so we've got them booked in. The booking calendar is notified that those are no longer available on those dates. That's awesome. Now we need to get the ad creative set up, and so that it will show up in our newsletter builder, so we can just drag and drop our sponsor in every Monday, and no worries, no qualms about going and getting and fetching stuff from Google Forms and Notion and all those other things. So as you can see, you have the ad creative right here, so you can click into that and it will bring you to the ad creative page. This is where you can start creating your sponsorships actual ad, the creative for the ad. So you can also access that just from creatives here in the sidebar underneath content. So what you're going to want to do is, first and foremost, you're going to want to name this campaign. So we're going to name this Acme Construction let's just call it V1. Then we're going to want to choose our sponsor, and then we're going to want to select all of the dates that we want to apply this creative in the campaign. Don't worry, we can change this at any time. We just need to apply this creative to the campaign slots so that it shows up properly in the newsletter builder on the day with the proper campaign. I'm going to get into how you can change creatives and how your clients can actually change their creatives in the client portal. That will be in the video right after this. So right now I'm just going to select all, because we just want to use this campaign evergreen, this creative evergreen, until either they want to change it or we want to change it. So we've selected all, and now we're going to come in here and we are going to start creating the actual campaign creative. So we have a bunch of templates you can use that we've done for a bunch of different industries if you want to get a hot start to something. But for today, I'm going to actually create it from scratch because I want to show you guys how to actually create from scratch in the campaign creator here. What we're going to do is we're just going to start typing, and so we're going to say sponsored by Acme Corp Construction, and we're going to name the campaign something. Let's say construction. Doesn't have to be difficult. And so I'm going to actually edit these because we want this to be whatever your publication uses. You just match it up. So I'm going to give this an H2 heading, and I'm going to give this one an H3 I'm going to give them both an H2 heading. So we've got that. And then underneath, I'm going to start typing the actual, make sure that that's all capitalized. And then underneath, I'm going to just actually go to ChatGPT and get me to mock up something here so that we can get moving on this. And for a construction company, for my newsletter, a local construction company, in under 100 words. Okay, we're going to use this. And then we're going to go back in here and we're going to paste that. And we're going to put Acme Corp. And this is great because we can actually embed the URL here. So this URL that I'm about to put in is the one that is tracked, okay? So any URLs that you put in here will be tracked against the clicks from wherever you put your publication. So I saved that. I know that is now tracked and linked. You can also change any of this with AI by prompting custom instructions in here, and it will change this. You could say, make it more professional, more punchy, or just give it custom instructions. Cool. So we've got that all kind of sorted out so far, which is great. And now we want to add an image for it. So I'm, again, just being lazy right now. You're probably going to get your images from your customer, but I'm just going to get ChatGPT to make me one here. All right, it's Vibe advertising right now, so there we go. We've got our image. I'm going to copy that, and I went ahead and fixed the ad up a little bit in the meantime while that image was loading. And so you can see that we have our full-on ad here, and we have it booked in for all of the bookings for the future, and we're happy with our ad. We've got our link embedded, everything is good to go, and you can see a bit of a preview here of how it will look in your newsletter. So once you're happy with that, you just hit save ad. That is going to save that ad creative to all of those bookings that you just booked in. And to make sure that you have all of those ads booked in with the creative, you can just go over to your sponsor list, hit the sponsor that you just booked that in for, and you can go here and you can see that the ad creative is all right here. You can edit this at any time by clicking edit, and it will take you to the editing screen where you can change anything you want. You can click here and see a preview, or you can delete it. Just a warning, once you delete that, it will delete it from every single booking, and all of those bookings will be blank, so you will have to go in and create another ad. You can see all of the bookings from their sponsor profile here, so you can go here and you can approve or change any of the settings to any of the bookings coming up. If they cancel on you, you can delete them, all that good stuff. Now you'll notice one thing, okay? And so this is in draft. And so for you to actually have this show up in the newsletter builder interface, you're going to need to have this go to approved. The reason you want to manually do this is because if you have anything come through, any changes that the client has made to it in the portal and you haven't seen it yet, and let's say you have an editor or somebody working for you, or even you, and you're the one managing the ads going into the newsletter, you don't want a non-approved ad going in. So make sure that toggle is on approved. That is the only way that it will show up in the newsletter builder interface. And I'm going to show you that right now. I know you're probably taking a look at this and going, oh, but what's the client portal? We're going to get into that in the next video. It is a fairly comprehensive step in the process. It is a very, very cool way to manage your ad relationships with your sponsors without having to go through email and phone calls and all that kind of stuff. But for right now, I want to just show you how this actually gets into your newsletter builder so that you can just drag and drop your sponsors in on the day that they're approved for. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to sponsors, and we are just going to head back to the main dashboard. So to just make sure that everything worked, you can just go to create and then go to newsletter. What you're going to go to is then you're going to start a blank draft, or you can bring up one of your templates. I'm going to bring up one of my templates for now. So here is our template that we've created with all of our sections and segments. And to just make sure that our sponsor is showing up, we're going to go over to sponsors here, and you can see that it loaded it up. And the next date that this sponsorship goes out is on December 22nd, 2025. I'm just going to click add into the newsletter because I want to make sure that everything shows up properly. There it is. Everything that you made for the sponsor is right here. The link to click is right there. That's the one that's tracked. And if you want to see it in a preview, you can just click preview here and you'll see that it comes up and everything's good to go. Obviously, because we have no content in any of these other buckets, it didn't show up in the preview. But just to give you an idea of how easy this is to actually operate once you've embedded and ingrained your sponsorship workflow, I will just show you. You can start to create your newsletter with your sponsorship in it. And I spelled Acme wrong. Great start. That's why I use AI and ChatGPT to write everything for me. And so your newsletter's starting and everything is rocking and rolling, and you can generate your intro. Obviously, this is just a demo, so this isn't what an actual newsletter would be for us, but then you can go to preview and everything is there. So super, super, super easy to actually integrate your sponsorship workflow into our software. I'm just going to hit next, generate a couple subject lines. We'll use this one, continue, and there you go. Everything's here. You can just copy this to clipboard. It will take the images, it will take the links, it will take the formatting structure, every single thing, and put it into the email sending platform that you use, and it will put the entire context of this newsletter in there, and it will format it to whatever settings that you have set up in your newsletter builder or your email sending platform. I'm going to stop this video now. The next video we're going to get into is the client portal, how to use that, how to communicate with your clients, how they can update your ads, and how you can put constraints on what they can actually update within the client portal. And then we're going to get into the public storefront, so people can book ads through your public storefront without you having to actually even touch anything, which is